What's up, guys? It's Dwayne from Mountain Buck. Today I'm checking out the iZEEKER iG220 trail camera. Now this is a solar power trail camera, and I'm a really big fan of the solar power trail cameras because you can leave them out in the woods for months at a time without worrying about batteries at all, because most times they are powered exclusively by that solar panel. This camera also shoots 36 megapixel photos and shoots 1520p video. Let's check it out. And here is the iG220 right out of the packaging. You can see you have some camo on there for concealment. You have the LEDs here for nighttime IR shots. This solar panel does rotate slightly, so you are able to angle it down. Around back here you have the strap to go in to mount it to the tree, and you could also lock this down with a Python cable. You have the standard thread mounts on the bottom. And inside here, you have a nice little screen where you're going to be able to see your shot when you set this up, or preview the photos and videos on there. Plus, you have some basic functionality on here for the menu items. Down on the bottom here, you have the on-off switch, and you also have a USB-C port here to charge this thing up, to get it fully charged with this system here. So you also get the strap for a tree, and a USB to USB-C cable in here. Let's fire this thing up. For mode, I always go with photo and video when available. We'll set the photo resolution to the max at 36 megapixels. You can choose how many photos you want at a time. Video resolution will bump up to that 1520p. You can choose your video length here. I'll go with 30 seconds for now. You can overwrite your files in this loop mode. Set your motion detection delay. Looks like you could really extend it out. Your motion capture sensitivity, and I'll stick with medium. Your IR distance settings. Set up the time lapse here if you like. Of course, we want the audio on. Choose your timestamp settings. You can format your SD card here, and I should mention this takes a standard size SD card. All right, our settings are right where we want them. I'm gonna get this fully charged up overnight, then we're gonna get it outside and run some tests. All right, our iZEEKER iG220 is all set on the tree, and we are ready to start testing this thing. Now, the first test I'm gonna do is the image clarity, image quality test, where I hold up an eye chart very similar to the one you use at your optometrist office to check your vision. I'm gonna see how clear these images are with that 36 megapixel camera. And what I do is I stand about 15 feet in front of the camera, hold this up to see how clear those images are. Let's find out. Next up is our trigger speed test. Now this camera has a 0.1 second trigger, which is very fast. I don't know that it's actually going to hit that 0.1 second mark, but we're going to find out. So how I do this test is I have a cone set up 10 yards behind me. I'm going to run right by and see how fast this camera captures me. Next up is our detection range test. Now this camera has a 65-foot detection range. How I'm testing this one out is I have 4 cones set up back there behind me. First one at 10 yards, then 15, then 20, and then 25 yards out. I'm gonna walk by each one at a nice leisurely pace and see how far out this camera can capture me. All right, that's it for our tests out here. Let's check that footage and see how the iG220 performed. For our image clarity test, you can see pretty clearly down to line 7, and it starts getting fuzzy there about line 8. The trigger speed test was actually pretty surprising. I didn't expect this camera to perform this well, and it caught me pretty early in the frame there. It might not be a 0.1 second trigger, but 0.2 or 3 is pretty good. I had to show you this shot here of these turkeys flying through. That trigger speed snapped them pretty quick mid-flight. For the detection range test, the iG220 caught me at every yard marker out to that 25-yard spot. So this camera exceeded its 65-foot detection range, and it's really nice to see when cameras actually outperform their specs. Here's an example of the daytime image quality. Here's a nice shot of a doe looking toward the camera. Here's that image zoomed in a bit. And here's a closer shot where the doe moved in toward the camera. You can see the eyelashes, and the image is pretty sharp. You can see the grass and the leaves on the tree back there. Here's the nighttime image quality. The area is lit pretty well, although you have a bit of that spotlight effect here with the IR focusing in the middle of the frame. Here's the daytime video quality. Nice quality video here with that doe grazing. I'll put up another example with some turkeys and their poults, and let's take a listen to the audio. Here's the nighttime video quality. Here's that fox again hanging out, finding something to eat. This camera is a true no-glow camera, and the only reason you're seeing anything is because it's amplified through my camera. You can't see any of this with the naked eye. Over the course of the test period, the iG220 took 87 photos and 87 30-second videos. The battery is still at 100% running solely on that solar panel. I have to say, I'm really impressed with what you get for the price with this camera. You don't have to worry about batteries. You have some really nice images and video quality in there. The trigger speed is super fast, and the detection range exceeded expectations. You also have true no glow for nighttime IR shots. This is an excellent value here with this iZEEKER iG220. As always, the links to the guys we talk about are in the description below. Guys, get yourself some killer mountain buck gear. Do me a favor, check out my buddy's podcast, Saddles and Stands. They have some really insightful and interesting hunting related content on there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.